Hello,
My name is Sarah,
and my name is Sofia.
and today we're going to be talking about nutrition.
What is a nutrient? A nutrient is a substance consumed by an organism that it allows it to grow, survive, and reproduce. There are also 6 types of different nutrients. These are proteins, minerals, fats, water, vitamins, and carbohydrates.
So now let's listen to some examples for where you can find these nutrients so we can facilitate your intake. First of all, carbohydrates. You can find these in bread, pasta, cereal, and many other places like that. Then protein. You can find that in seafood, meat, milk, eggs, and other foods of that sort. Next, we have fats. You can find those in avocado and nuts. Now we have vitamins. And you can find vitamins in citrus fruits, papaya. You can also find it in broccoli, bell peppers, and more. And lastly, we have minerals. And you can find those in many different places, like eggs, garlic. So, now let's talk about what nutrients do. In our body, nutrients are special because they help all of our body. But there's 2 types of nutrients, macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients include proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, while micronutrients include minerals and vitamins. So if we talk a little bit about macronutrients, these are really important because they provide our body with energy. So it's important for us to take a lot of these every day and in large quantities. As for micronutrients, you don't have to take so many a day as quantity, but you do need to take them daily because they're important for natural processes in the body. So for example, let's talk about something that nutrients do in our body, which is the production of energy. So when we eat our food and we chemically break it down, if we have carbohydrates, we break it down into glucose. And the cells grab and use that glucose as energy, which is really important because, of course, it provides all our body with energy. But if you don't take enough carbohydrates, they do break down fats and proteins into glucose. So it's important to keep all of these 3 nutrients in your nutrition. Another aspect in which nutrients are really important in your body is bone strength. For example, you really need micronutrients here because calcium is super important for your bones because it's one of the main components in your bones. But for this, you need vitamin D for the bones to absorb the calcium well. You also, for example, need copper intake in your food because without it, you will lose a lot of bone mass, which is really, really negative in your body and your health in general. Another function in which nutrients are really important are tissue building and repairing. For example, collagen is really important in repairing the tissues of your skin. For example, if you cut yourself, collagen comes and repairs and heals the wound. So it helps with the elasticity of the skin. It's also really seen in beauty products because it really helps improve your skin and make it look better. Another important thing is that vitamin B deconstructs amino acids, and these are very important because these build up one on top of the other to be able to build tissue, which is really important because you have to build muscle tissue and other things like that. The last example we're going to be giving to you is how nutrients help good digestion. For example, vitamin D really helps suck out all the energy from the food that you're eating. And if we're going to keep on doing a basic level, we can say that zinc is a big part of over 200 enzymes we have in our digestive system. And enzymes are essential for the breakdown of food. So we can see that minerals and therefore micronutrients are really important for good digestion.
Okay, so next is a balanced diet. A balanced diet is a way of eating in which you intake all of the nutrients you need for having a proper functioning of your whole body. For this, you should eat all of the 6 nutrients that we mentioned before. Having a balanced diet is very important because you will assure that all of your organs are working correctly. And if you don't have a balanced diet, you could get cancer, heart diseases, a stroke, low energy, and diabetes, and much more. That's why we are told so much times that we are what we eat. Some people think that to have a balanced diet, you should eat little amounts of these nutrients and not so much like every day. But in reality, you should take great amount of them, but the good quality of them. Like, for example, the good quality of proteins or meats, fish, eggs, and etc. And to have a healthy source of fats, You can eat nuts, veggies like avocado. To have a healthy income of vitamins, you can eat fruits and vegetables, and sometimes, if you need so, there are some pills that have all of the vitamins that you need for a healthy body. Also, for a healthy source of minerals, you can have salmon, tuna, sunflowers, and things like that. If you want to have a balanced diet, you should stay away from refined grains and things that have like a lot of sugar added to them instead of having the natural sugar taken from it. Also, you should stay away from some things that are processed, because sometimes we don't think that they are harmful, but sometimes they have a lot of chemicals added to them.
So, how has science affected this issue? Millions of people around the world do not have access to all the nutrients that we need to take daily, so scientists have had to find many ways to give them those nutrients. For example, something they've done is increment micronutrients into food we eat daily. For example, cereal. And even though this has worked greatly, these popular cereal brands are not available to all the public. For example, people living in remote areas. Now they are creating biofortified foods. The most popular one to date is golden rice, which contains high amount of vitamin A and can be grown locally, which is a solve to many problems we have. As well as that, scientists have created synthetic meat that uses stem cells taken from an actual cow to create the meat. And for now, scientists say that it's a little bit flavorless, but in a couple of years, it will be great and it will solve the problem of the high meat demand in the market.
The nutritional disorder we chose is anorexia nervosa, also known as anorexia. Anorexia is a physical and psychological disease that makes you obsessed about what you're eating and how you look like. Anorexia may come on your genetics or may also be caused by the society because you feel pressured about how you look and not being enough for the other people. Other causes may be a traumatic episode on your life, that it could be on your childhood, on something about your family, or just something that disturbs you. Anorexia can have a lot of symptoms, and much of them are very noticeable by the other people. This can be that you lose weight in a very small amount of time. Then another one, it can be like losing appetite, but it's not really like you lose it, it's like you are starving yourself. Another symptom is the distorted body image. That is when you see yourself fat when you are really underweight. And these people with anorexia suffer this a lot because like they start eating like little things and having a really restricted diet, but then they go and look in the mirror and they see themselves like really fat. So this makes them like continuing their little cycle of bad diet and those things. Another symptom can be becoming antisocial, like not wanting to go out with your friends or anything like that. Also can be depression. Another can be when you are obsessed about the calories and the things you're eating. And again, being restrictive about everything you eat. The two types of anorexia are the purge type, which is someone that is constantly purging themselves. That means that they are eating like a lot of laxatives and making themselves vomit, so that the fear of getting fat is blown away because they think that just by doing that they're like eliminating everything they eat. And the other type is the restrictive type. The restrictive type of anorexics are the ones who restrict all about the diet. This means that everything that they eat is restricted. Like for example, they can't eat sugars or like grains, things like that, till they end in the point where they are eating a very little amount of food, and this doesn't help to your digestive system because you aren't getting all of the nutrients you need. People that suffer from anorexia tend a lot to deny it and don't let the other people to see that they are suffering it. So So it is very important to get a good treatment. Some of the treatments are hospitalizing the person, also can be therapy, antidepressants, because they help a lot with the depression you suffer, with sleeping and recovering the appetite. And it can also be being in psychotherapy, which is a type of therapy that makes you like start thinking again about yourself as who you are and not as who you want other people to see you. If anorexia is not treated in time, that person can suffer from malnutrition, dehydration, a decreased bone density, and a lot of loss of muscle, because when your body is out of glucose that enters by the food you eat, it starts like breaking down your own muscles to get it. Also, anorexia can lead to heart diseases and sometimes cause death because of depression or any heart disease that you get.